Welcome back to Callahan's Corner. We have some questions, answer them live right here on Facebook. Had a user submitted question in the Service Autopilot users group: how to best define and track budget versus actual time in their lawn care and service business. So, what I'm going to do is open up the screen and give you a quick rundown of what an expert play looks like, how to actually track your budget versus actual. And there's a lot of misconceptions of what you should be looking at on a daily and weekly basis, and the keys to success that actually go into the old saying, good data in, good data out. Well, really, at this point, we're looking at no data in, no data out in some scenarios. So I'm going to open up the screen, demystify the system, and give you a quick workflow for 1 to 2 minutes per crew each day to make sure you're hitting your times. And as a bonus, I'm going to show you the foundations of how to use this for a P for P or piece rate pay system. So what we've got here is some slides that we broke down in the Simple Growth Scale group. We have monthly webinars, how to actually break this down, as well as one-on-one coaching with one of our seven-figure experts. But as we're looking at this here, we've got our closeout day screen. What we want to do is go to columns here. This view that you're looking at is not the exact view that you're going to be seeing inside Service Autopilot by default. So right off the bat, we're going to go in and click the button to add the closeout day. And we're going to go in and add the variance, and we're going to add the actual hours. And that's right under this column here where you can actually go in and select that. So to answer the question directly, and I'm going to hop back and actually kind of demystify some of the other things in the data, how this actually will go in and show you how to raise your prices with no motion as well. So on a very simple basic, we should go in and do a resource for Mo Crew 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And under dispatch board, we can create and save a view. So we can hop in and check that step by step. There's 3 key elements that most people miss when they're actually looking at this. So the first thing we want to do once we've set up under the columns here, closeout day, variance, and actual time, is we want to make sure there's a good start and stop time for every job here. If that makes sense and it looks good, the guys and girls haven't clocked in out under an hour, we have good start and stop times. So we have good foundational data. If not, stop here and update the data, because this will affect your reporting and everything else in the system. Next thing is budgeted hours will automatically populate. If we do not put actual hours, it will be very, very confusing, because it will only show the time for one person. This is a 2-person crew. So with the actual hours, it will go in and give you the total time. So right now in this view, we've got 8.7 hours, but really when we put the actual hours in there, it would be 17 and change. So that is the difference. And I've left it in this here as an example of what we're potentially missing here. So there's another column here that's going to say actual hours. And at the end of this, I'll walk into Service Autopilot Live just to show you what that looks like. So main things: start and stop times, budgeted hours, and a dollar amount. A lot of people are doing installment payments and not connecting the contract to the job. If we need to do that, and then associate the dollar and budgeted time per job. So that is the first thing that we are going to be looking at. Next thing we're looking at is going in here a little bit farther here and showing you the actual things you need to be clicking on. So these are the settings that we need to be going in. So once again, close out day screen, variance, and actual hours. And by doing such, that will give you the keys that you need to look at for budget versus actual. And it will automatically calculate the actual hours based on how many guys or girls are on the crew. Finally, I alluded it in the screen before, but this is how we actually do it. We need to go in and create a view once we've hit the resource and have the closeout day screen for each one. So this is speed and simplicity for each admin or manager of each division to be able to walk through and do that in a very quick fashion. So as we're going in here, there is a few other things that we want to be able to look at. Employee job costing data. So that is going to go in and marry up parallel to your budget versus actual time. So what we need to do is go in and build out a sheet like this here that we traditionally do in the Simple Growth Coaching. But what we're doing is getting our labor burdens, our company unemployment, workman's comp, FICA, a few other things there. What you're going to do is get a percentage. So this is the cost per dollar of payroll that's added on there. And what we need to do is go into the team employees, and on each employee, we should update this every January. So the hourly rate goes here. Labor with labor burden goes over here, and we figured it out through that equation. That's a 19% labor burden. So once we have all that data in here, we're going to be able to create a report based on the clock in and clock out. And we should be clocking in and out of the drive time as well as each job. So what that's going to do is give us our direct costs offsite and onsite. And you can see in this example here from one of our automated reports, it is going to be able to show us that the data is okay on the clock and a clock on this particular job. And we'd have all 15 or 20 jobs of the day per crew, but we'd have a labor cost, and that is our labor with labor burden for the individuals on that particular crew, and a drive time cost effect. So it's really important to get those crews to clock in and clock out. So budget versus actual. And in addition, we want the reports to start pulling in our labor with labor burden direct cost and indirect cost. And as we drive in, we set up the settings here. And as we save each view by creating a view, each person that logs in has to do this, but you'll have the set defaults that you need. And then that is going to drive into the actual closeout day screen here. Now, the closeout day screen screenshot that I have does not have actual clicked under the columns, as we suggested on this screen. But the idea here is that we can go in and take our budget versus actual and actually look at that. And that's going to be the keys to success. As we drive in here now, the key to these daily versus budgets, we want to be able to give the guys and girls instant feedback and raise our prices. So usually the week after the 4th of July in November, we raise our prices. And this comes from the data of the closeout day screen. So not directly asking the question, but very, very important. So we're going to be able to, in a screenshot here, show you how to actually show your team's budget versus actual to get buy-in for piece rate or paid for P. But also we want that data to flow in. So this is an export of an automated report that we've made. But we've got our 2 mowings here at $54 a cut. And on average, from the closeout day screen, clock in and clock out, we're making $57.30. And if we were desired to make $60 an hour, we're only making $57.30. The report now will tell you to raise the prices on just the losers not hitting your hourly goal. So this $54 cut now goes to $56.84. On average, we need to raise the price non-emotionally. That's the key. Non-emotional price change to $2.56. So the question originally was closeout day screen for daily and weekly tracking. This data now flows into a report for you to non-emotionally raise your prices at least twice a year. So now that we've got that set up and we've got these views saved, we're going to go in and look at a new version of how to actually report out on this automatically. So what you'll see here is the idea of this export that we used to have to do with Service Autopilot now can be automated in a report. So you will get, when you come in tomorrow, you would get yesterday's work, budget versus actual, and you'd get the whole week the following Monday. And this is the idea here. So we're gonna, as we talked about the closeout day screen, there's 3 data points I said that you need to check every day, 2 to 3 minutes a day per crew. Clock in, clock out, budgeted time, and a dollar amount for each job. What we've done is created logic in this report that the clock in time is good, the budgeted time is good, and the dollar amount for the job is in there. And what we're going to find then is 100% is hitting your budget. So this is the key for tracking your daily versus actual and reporting. Anything above 100 is beating, is under budget. Anything below is over budget. So you can tell the guys, hey, you gave 100% with quality, you hit it. You gave 120% today. You did great. You kicked butt, and that would actually be 20% under budget. And this report now will automatically, daily and weekly, give you a summary of each previous day and the previous week. And 125% in this example, they were 25% under budget. And then with the new updated version, this crew here would have a summary for all their jobs for that day or that week. We'd be able to easily sell as a percentage. And what happens there is it's a non-emotional way to compare the budget versus actual. Now, the next thing we want to look at here is automatic job costing reporting. So this is where we went in and looked at how much we'd have to raise the price or not raise the price. This is the automated version of that. So on this average here, we'd have to raise the price by $5 per cut. There's bad data in here and it's red. So obviously we wouldn't be raising a mowing by $1,200. And on the bottom example, you did not have to raise the price. So the ability to run a automated non-emotional data report for daily budget versus actual, the previous last week, and raising your prices to the penny on average. Those are the keys to success. And the final piece I want to leave you with here is true buy-in and public accountability. The percentage budget here is going to be in per crew, a quality score. So we have production with quality, and we can post this up on a TV or dry erase board in the shop. And this is the foundations of piece rate and pay per P performance. So comments, questions, drop below. Main thing that was asked here is, as we go through here, what we need to do on the closeout day screen. These are the settings we need. We want to save the views. Once we do that, We need a good start and stop time, budgeted hours, and a dollar amount. And when we click those buttons here, we will have a actual um, hours right here. And when that's clicked, it will calculate it based on how many guys or girls are on that crew. So we compare the actual hours to the budget hours, and we can see exactly where we're at. And then once we have that, we want to run a automated report, just like the Simple Growth KPI report, where this is emailed to you daily for the previous day, and then the following Monday you get the previous week's summary, and a job cost report, how to raise your prices with no motion on anybody not hitting your hourly threshold. For example, in this one here, the desired bill hour is $55 per man hour. And then finally, we drive that data daily and weekly into a public accountability chart like this with production and quality to align those for piece rate and P for P. So those are the foundations of budget versus actual. Hopefully it was helpful. And we'll see you again at Callahan's Corner. We ask the questions, we answer them live right here on Facebook.